Okay, so last time on Superman for the Master System we beat up people who may or may not have been Toyman and Metallo, found some kids and saved the city. This time we need to deal with a subway hijacking. We start off with a side-scrolling section where we're assaulted with both health packs and homing exploding bullets from nowhere. The usual floaty controls for flying return as well. You barely have enough time to react, let alone move, to account for either the bullets or health as they appear. Even if you do dodge them, the bullets can still actually hit you if you don't hold down right, which speeds you up. And that's the thing with this level, you have to hold right, the whole time. It wasn't enough that it was nearly impossible to respond to anything at the normal speed, you have to go even faster to catch up to the train. Pretty much any life refills I get at this point are going to be pretty accidental, as my main priority was to dodge the bullets as they come out of the train, which of course gets harder and harder as you get closer and closer. Every time you get hit, the train moves away from you as well, and though the game's nice enough to fire only one projectile at you at once, as soon as one hits you, it can decide to fire another one, and another one, rapid firing bullets into your face and sending you back halfway across the screen or killing you outright. So anyway, the train. You have the little robots from level 2, except they fire green things like the guys from level 1, another robot that clings to the roof and rains laser orbs down on you, and a guy who throws bombs in through the windows. In this version of the game, he's just there throwing bombs in from outside the train as if that made any sense. This is the only place we'll see him in the whole game too, but I'm sure he's supposed to be someone, but I think his identity will have to wait until the Mega Drive version. But yeah, here we go, the boss already, and it's the same guy as the previous level, maybe Metallo. This time his pattern has simplified somewhat. He'll run at you and then try to stomp on you. You'll be harassed the whole time by the ceiling bots too, but they'll always stop just short of you, rather than directly overhead. So rather than risk actually fighting this boss in a respectable manner, I'm going to slowly bait him across the whole length of the train. If you didn't wait for the yellow guys to finish attacking and leave the windows and instead just scrolled past them, they'll actually reappear and throw bombs at you again as you return through the train. Their bombs are much like those of the mechanical children from Thief 2, they're far more dangerous as projectiles than the fact they may actually explode at some point. If you can, saving this life pickup can come in a lot of handy when trying to beat this boss. In fact, the start of this section is a really good place to just burn and continue to get full health, as you'll start back on the train, not the flying section, and not have to deal with getting shot in the face repeatedly. Here you can see why it's a good idea to get rid of the bomb guys out of the windows. Getting pinned between Metallo, Yellow Bomberman and Ceiling Bot is a recipe for getting hurt, but fortunately Metallo is dead and he explodes horribly, thankfully signifying he will not be returning for the rest of the game. Of course, we have to run all the way to the right to finish the level. And my reasoning for not wanting to die just yet becomes clear, I really wanted to beat the high score. The Daily Planet TM informs us that Lois Lane has been taken hostage. This is actually the main plot of the game straight off the back of the box. We are, of course, also 3/5 of the way through the game. In this level there are some kind of blue rock midgets who burrow into the floor, rapid fire turrets and electric barrier floors. The turrets are actually quite dangerous and the blue rock things have too much health to warrant fighting. On top of all that, we have blue robots who drop down from the ceiling who can occasionally warp through walls. They're basically impossible to deal with only normal punches, so you either want to laser them or avoid them completely. This level's design is, like level 2's, mostly a rip-off of the earlier Genesis game. It does however mark the first real divergence from that game, as it completely missed out an area between this one and the last one. The final new enemy for this level is the flying dragon head robot thing. They float around fairly erratically and they are very hard to jump attack, so again, getting a good couple of shots in with heat vision or running away with your cape between your legs is the way to go. You can go up to an area above here, but there's nothing really up there. This is actually the point where the level design diverges from the level it's a copy of, so it's not surprising there's a whole extra needless area with nothing in it. I don't think the level agrees too well with this version's collision engine either. You can see Superman clip inside some parts of the level, and there was that one enemy who warped through the wall, and you've seen a couple of times now that sometimes when you try to jump up a ledge it just doesn't work. I guess you can use that to your advantage here to shoot this one robot, but that's about it. The dragon head robots have that annoying AI pattern which just tries to fly inside you. They're especially annoying again because of the awful flying and terrible aerial combat. They are of course also unique to the 8-bit version. Another thing I guess is that every single enemy in this level is blue. The Master System can swing up to 32 colours, but I think they blew most of them on the actually pretty detailed rocky backgrounds. Well, detailed for the Master System. They also blew what they had left on this rocket launch room. Anyway, we're at the boss. Thankfully I have something to actually say about it, because honestly I've been struggling. I'm pretty sure that this guy isn't an actual comic villain, but I'm prepared to be wrong. He looks like some kind of a wolf man, and he's not the boss of this level in the Genesis version. In fact, he's not the boss of any level in that version, he's just a weird giant green wolf guy, who's presumably only blue here because they ran out of colours. His attack pattern is to jump either a tiny distance or a massive distance, and then, if you don't hurt him, fire a homing missile at you from somewhere about his person, and then jump again. The hardest part of this is correctly judging how far away from him to stand to actually hit him. Too close and you just run into him, and too far away and you don't hit him at all, so he just fires a missile into your face. Sometimes it seems like he just fires a missile at you anyway too, but overall it's a really simple boss, especially given so much room to manoeuvre. Occasionally he'll decide to jump back up to the platforms by the rocket, and will often jump in such a way over and over to end up staying on there for ages, but really the conclusion of punching him out of the playfield was never really in any doubt. With the rocket now getting ready to launch, Superman decides that the sensible thing to do isn't to attempt to stop it with his mighty superpowers, but instead to just wait around for a bit and let it shoot Lois into space. In related news, shoot Lois into space is apparently a bit of a tongue twister for me, and I've had to re-record that about 8 times. See you next time.